Now, since I made my last video, I've just been itching to talk about another movie that I love. You see, it seems I have a fondness for the movies of the early 2000s, specifically 2004, because just like when Fantastic Four came out, another little movie came out that changed my life. Without a Paddle, directed by this guy right here, is probably the funniest movie that you've never even seen. I know saying it's the funniest movie are some pretty bold words, but, you know, I've heard that comedy is subjective and whatnot, but listen when I tell you that they hit gold with this one. I mean, I literally had this movie on a loop as a kid. It had a sentence of like 3 to 5 in my DVD player. I know other movies were just clawing at a chance to get some DVD player time, and I plan on getting to all those other movies that fit that description, but this movie was definitely one of the early ones, so it's got first dibs, you know. But look, regardless of who you are, I think we all have friends. I mean, I hope you have friends, but that's a whole nother issue.
What, so I gotta sit here and eat dessert alone like I'm fucking Steven Glansberg?
I'm trying to say that most of us have someone or multiple someones that we call a best friend. And I'm sure just like me, you have those moments with them where you look back on and say, wow, remember when we did this? Or dang, remember that night we hit that guy with our car and dumped the body? Or, you know, something to that nature. I know I got a couple of those that come straight to mind, and just like me, I'm sure those times are special to you. And I'm saying all this because this movie is about best friends. And of course, there's like a bunch of other themes in this movie, but time seems to be a big one. I brought up fun times with friends because most of us can relate to that. But there's also another one that we all can relate to, or, you know, we all end up falling victim to, and that's losing time. You see, the premise of this movie is that 3 childhood friends who haven't seen each other in a long time decide to travel into the mountains to find the treasure of the mysterious man known as D.B. Cooper, who, if you don't know, was a real person in history who parachuted from a plane with millions in cash. You know, he held up the plane and he told the flight attendant that he had a bomb, and he jumped from the plane with a parachute and was seemingly never heard from again. I know, right? If you've never heard that before, you're probably like, what? That's crazy. Yeah, It's crazy as hell. And that kind of aura, bro, that is unattainable in this day and age. So I personally hope that he's living a happy life with all his riches, and he's laid up on the beach with some honeys or something, because that's ridiculous. And shout out to my man D.B. Cooper. I say that because this was a clean crime. But anyways, like I was saying, they decide to do this after the death of their childhood friend Billy, who they come to find out after his funeral was researching it and might have found the exact location of DB's treasure. You see, they have been obsessed with this case since they were kids, so it just feels right to do, you know? And now that we know the premise, let's talk about the boys. We got Tom. Tom he's a free spirit, or, you know, unemployed.
Not afraid of anything.
Is this Billy's funeral? Is that the corpse of Billy Newwood? Tom!
And he seems to have a gambling problem and a losing problem, and obviously those things do not match up, so he's always losing his money. Then we got Jerry. Jerry works in an office, and he's bored all the time, and he just doesn't really seem to care, but there is something that he does care about, and he loves, and that's surfing. Come on, surfing's sick. When he's out there, nothing else matters, and everything is blocked out, including, apparently, the memory of him and his girlfriend's anniversary. So, you know, nice going, Shaggy. And last but not least is Dan, who by all means appears to be the most well-rounded of them all.
Dan's a little timid.
I'm afraid of cellophane.
Like saran wrap?
Afraid that somehow it'll get draped over my head and...
That's very pathetic.
It's very...
I mean, he's a doctor, the brother's making the big bucks, and look, he even has his own parking spot. So he's doing well for himself, but...
Oh, Billy. Oh.
Billy's dead and he's still got a better chance of getting laid than I do.
He's missing that special someone in life, like most people out there. So, you know, these are very regular guys that you probably even know. And it's very easy to feel like one of these guys now, you know, as an adult. And if you remember earlier, I said that there was another friend, Billy, who sadly passed away. And trust me, I'm not spoiling that. Well, I don't know, it might be a spoiler, but the trailer tells you that too, you know, just like every other trailer now, but that's a whole nother video. Like I was saying, Billy lived life like there was no tomorrow.
Did you know he ran with the Bulls?
He sent me a postcard from Spain.
Man, he did great things.
He lived in the moment, and he went on to do great things, and he gracefully exited the server, you know? You see, they all admired Billy and wished they could be as carefree as him. They find Billy's research in their childhood treehouse after the funeral that essentially plots out where DB might have landed when he jumped all those years ago.
Not Wang Chung tonight. Burn that.
Wow. You guys, check out this map. It looks like Billy left us a treasure map.
Look at that.
Not only that,
This map looks new.
he plotted out the whole trip. Billy thought DB landed right here. There's no way he did this as a kid. He must have been adding to the box. Over the years, this is the camping trip he wanted us to take last summer.
I couldn't go. I was detained in Mexico.
He wouldn't do it unless we were all together.
I swear to God, I think he figured it out. I mean, look at all this research. He reconstructed the jump. He pinpointed DB's landing.
That's crazy.
God.
I'm sorry, you guys. We made an oath. It all goes back in the box. It all goes back in the box until we find the treasure. So let's go find it.
They find a compass that Jerry says he gave Billy when he left, and they realize that Billy planned this trip for all of them to take. And because they've been obsessed with this case since they were kids, and now that Billy's gone, there's only one thing to do. So they head off into a remote area of the Cascade Mountains and out of their depth.
Fellas, here we go. Attention. We christen you Duke the Second.
Thanks for breaking glass where my kids play.
Oh. And all the movie just starts to get so good after this. See, this is the type of stuff that makes this movie so good. Watching them cut up with each other and enjoying the outdoors while spotting some interesting looking wildlife.
Hey, look, a deer. That's cool. Wow. Right out there in the open.
I love the scene of them trying to make a fire. This shit had me rolling.
Stop, drop and roll. Why would you do that? I'm with my face right next to the... You blow... Why would you do that?
It's warm.
It's a nice fire.
Hey. We did it.
Moments like these are the ones that we take for granted, and these are the moments that mean the most. We get a good talk between them about living in the moment, and we learn how to catch fish from Tom the old Cherokee way, apparently. Now, I've watched this movie probably over 100 times now, and believe it or not, I've never even bothered to look up and see if this was real until right now. And damn, would you look at that. This movie doesn't just have wholesome and funny moments like the ones I've been showing. Shit always has to go wrong in these movies. I mean, they get attacked by a bear, and Dan gets carried away like the bear's cub, and the next day their canoe flips while going down the rapids. Shout out to Jerry though for being the bestest friend ever. I know your best friend ain't doing none of this. Surfing on a canoe and lassoing you out the water, yeah, there's no chance that that's happening. This whole sequence just kills me every time.
Hi about shit. Did you about shit?
Hi about shit.
I did shit.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit, what oh shit?
What? What?
Oh!
That's definitely my favorite sequence to just randomly quote. I remember before I saw this movie, I heard about the marijuana-filled scene, and let me tell you, my child brain was not disappointed when I finally got to see it. This shit had me rolling. You see, the main antagonists of this movie are these rednecks. The boys, while being lost, come across these idiots who turn out to be pot farmers, and not the chill kind of pot farmers either, like you'd expect. They're hostile as fuck.
Let's go through that. Where? There's no door. Hey!
So they chased the boys through the marijuana fields. The boys accidentally set off the emergency flares that, of course, set the plants on fire as they're running through them. And yeah, bro, this shit is just hilarious.
Can't see nothing through the smoke. We're dead. We're dead.
They're gonna get us in the food.
They escape the rednecks and come across a treehouse with beautiful, hairy hippie women in it. And these women invite them up and they pamper them in their underwear. This right here is the American dream. This is what we fought for. We even see that one of the girls already likes my boy Dan. This trip has already doubled his aura, and I couldn't be prouder. Of course, the good times can never last, and the rednecks show up again, and they have to escape in a sick-ass four-wheeler chase scene that leads them off a mountain into water. This movie has no right doing all these crazy-ass stunts, but damn, I'm so glad that they do. It's scenes like this that give this so much rewatch value. Now it's time for the scene from the trailer. I remember people talking about this for obvious reasons. After everything that's happened, the guys are left half naked, wet and cold, and they're gonna die from hypothermia if they don't do something soon. To keep from freezing to death, they do the impossible. They huddle their bodies together for warmth in a strangely sensual scene that's definitely not helped at all by the music choice. To survive, they embrace and lie in each other's manly heat, and I know you're like, what the hell? That couldn't be me, but when it's survival, brother, you gotta do what you gotta do. I've seen Bear Grylls do some pretty gnarly shit, and it was even crazier than this. I'll just leave you with this. In the midst of their nakedness, they're found by like a reclusive, scruffy looking mountain man who takes them to his cabin. Jerry notices a map similar to Billy's on his wall. Jerry puts two and two together and he asks the mountain man if he's DB Cooper. He immediately shuts it down and says he's not DB, but he was DB's best friend. And just like that, we've come right back to friendship, the core theme of this movie. We find out his name is Dell, and he tells the guys his story. He and DB were supposed to meet here after everything went down, and right after the heist happened, a blizzard covered the entire mountain. He never saw his best friend again, and he waited for a long time here until it ended up becoming his home. He talks about all the time he lost here, and it seems like this talk might have been something that they all needed to hear. Time is something you can never get back. Just ask my boy Justin. The overall message of this movie is to make the most of all the time you have left, I think. It's just an incredibly beautiful message, and when you're a kid watching this stuff, it hits even harder. Of course, you want them to find the treasure, and you think that the story is just one note. You aren't aware that movies can have that kind of nuance to them and teach you a life lesson. This might have been one of my first experiences with a bigger message being the undertone of the movie. You see, I wanted to make this video and just go through every plot point and walk you through the story moment by moment and tell you what happens, but that leaves nothing to the imagination. If I do that, you might as well not even watch it. I mean, there's so much more to this movie than meets the eye, and that's without a paddle. Of course, I could never do the movie justice and running through it, so quickly, so I'll just leave it up for you to discover how everything wraps up. Do they find the treasure? Do they not find the treasure? I've been on YouTube for so long now, and I've never seen anyone talk about this movie. It's older, and maybe there isn't an audience for it anymore, but it deserves a video, damn it, even if I gotta make it myself. It's a heartwarming and brilliant movie with a stacked cast that has the perfect amount of chemistry that you truly believe that they're best friends. These guys did get very close on set, and they formed a real relationship, and you feel that the whole time. They just got together not too long ago for a reunion of the Without a Paddle podcast is what they called it, and they just talked about their time on set and how fun it was. Of course, it's been unfairly rated on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'll rate it. As a comedy adventure movie, it's a 9.8 out of 10. There's very little that you could do to make it better. It's perfectly paced, the setting is beautiful, the characters feel real and lovable, and the lesson here is cathartic. I'll love this movie for the rest of my life, and if you watch it, I hope you will too. I encourage you to rent it on here on YouTube and see what you think. To end this, I'll just say, please see it if you haven't, and if you do, enjoy yourself.
Piece of advice. You can lose your money. You can spend all of it. And if you work hard, you get it all back. But if you waste your time, you're never going to get it